Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'll be talking to a singer-songwriter who's had multiple #1 songs and albums in country music. He's the lead singer and rhythm guitarist of the multi-platinum band Hootie and the Blowfish. And he's also written a book called Life's Too Short. Darius Rucker. Let's go.
That's my kind. I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
Motherfuckers are bad.
We like it when we do it. We like it.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to do it again, how to get ourselves cranking again.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out how to tour, how to make records.
Yeah, like, Hootie, we're going out this year, and it's just hard to get that shit back on,
Yeah, how do you coordinate everybody's families, everybody's lives? I actually think it's healthy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, to have things that you care about.
Yeah.
More than going out there.
Absolutely.
Even though it's important to go out there.
Yeah.
I think there's a balance, and I think, man, trying to figure that out. Like, we just literally started yesterday making music, and it's we haven't really made music in 6 years.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
It's crazy.
Like, when we went out in 2009, we hadn't made a record. We hadn't been together in 15 years.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, we're going to go out on the road again. And, before we went out on the road, it was just, the party was just us.
Yeah.
And that nine, it was, everybody had their families and their own buses. It was the first time we had done anything. But that's, when you get to our age and when you got families and stuff, that's the way to do it. If the kids are young enough, take them all out with you, man.
Yeah.
That's how we did it.
Yeah, and especially if you want the family to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember when we took a break from touring, it was straight up because it was not working. And we brought the kids. We were doing that, but it was hard. And my wife, she grew up on the road with her dad. So it wasn't like an exciting new thing for her. She was like, oh God, here we go again.
Here we go again, exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I think it's good. I think on the other side of figuring it all out, and everybody's different, it forces us to figure it out.
Yeah. And the great problem we have is that we have that luxury.
Yeah.
We've you guys and us, we've had careers and we've been playing so long that now we have the luxury to figure out we're going to do it. And if we do it, let's do it great. But if we're not going to do it, that's okay too. You can stay home and be with the family.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, there's a calmness sometimes when you trust the real thing. It's like, let's do the real thing. If we're going to make a record, let's do the real thing.
Yeah.
And if we're not going to do the real thing, let's just not do it.
Exactly. I think that's why we didn't make a record for this tour. This is I guess the 30th anniversary of the first record, and there's always somebody in the band that goes, "Let's make a record. Let's make a record." You're like, nobody feels like making a record.
Right.
We feel like going out and play some music, but I don't feel like making a record. And that, when we made that decision, I thought that was when I was like, okay, if we're just going to go play, let's go play.
Yeah.
We can do that's real. That's what we do. Let's go out and play some music. But like I said, we have that luxury. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, 30-year anniversary is a huge deal. So it is important. If you can do it, you should. Something about going out and celebrating this part of your entire, if I look at you as your entire catalog of music that you've made, there's all these moments that I think are important. And I feel like the Hootie and the Blowfish, the band and the records, they really had an impact on me. So I was listening to the radio when I was a kid. That's the only place I could get music.
Sure.
And those songs taught me how to write songs.
Yeah.
I would put those in a group of songs that I think really, like, in my early discovery of like rock music, they really informed good songwriting.
Yeah.
And then you just continue to write great songs. That's just what you do.
For me, I just think the songs are what it's about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that make it with the sound, and they have these songs that are okay songs, but they sound great. But the songs are what lasts. People still singing "Let Her Cry." That's the kind of thing that lasts. And
classic.
A great song's a great song.
Classic. Yeah. Me and my brother have always said, if you can't sit down with an acoustic guitar and sing a song, and it's a good song, then you should not record it.
You and your brother say the same thing. I believe in my heart.
Yeah.
If I can't sit on the stage and play the song with just my guitar, and not just for the artist, for me, and go, that's a good song, then I don't want to put on a record. I don't want to put any. I made a vow to myself I wouldn't put any song on a record that I don't want to play for the rest of my life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Actually, never heard it that way.
Yeah.
Actually, starting to record music, yesterday was our first day, so it spun my head a little bit because me and my brother got together, and we haven't written a song together in 4 years.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
That is.
So we do everything together.
Yeah.
We're very close. But we got in yesterday and was a little bit of an arm wrestling match at first because we've written on our own.
Yeah.
And just, every now and then I'll write a song or he'll write a song. But that's actually the mantra I'm going to take in with us over the next few weeks is if I don't want to play it forever, then we shouldn't record it.
Yeah. I mean, because that's even when I record stuff, like I remember I was recording a song and the producer was like, man, come on, hit this high note. And I kept going, no. And he was like, dude, it sounds so cool. I was like, no. And he's like, why do you want to hit it? I was like, because I don't have to do that on stage every night.
Yeah.
And that on that 5th night in a row, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to hit it. But for me, that's been my, if I don't want to play it every night, I'm not going to cut it.
That's why you're such a badass.
Well, you might have to play it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. But it takes real I don't know if it's self-confidence, self-love, or just a fuck it attitude of like, yo, I'm not doing that for the rest of my life. Singing that note every night on that part, losing my voice. We have a couple songs that I have to do that.
Sure.
And we made them when I was young, and certainly someone got me to sing higher than I should have.
Yep.
We have to play the song half a step or a whole step down just for me to sing the song.
Yeah.
It's so funny how that works.
Once again, that's a great luxury for us to have.
Yeah.
But we're going to be playing, like, we're musicians. We're going to be doing this, hopefully when we're 70, we're still playing music. Hopefully we're like Mick Jagger, 80 years old, still making me go, holy shit, every time he walks on the stage. And if you're doing that, there's songs you're going to have to play forever.
Yeah, one of the accomplishments I think of your music is the timelessness of the songs. It's hard to say. There's some bands you hear and you don't want to see that. You only want to see that with where it was at, what it was at. And I think we have a little bit of that. We tried to age.
Oh, I think you guys definitely have.
And the songs that stand up. And then there's songs we don't play anymore. They do not stand up.
Oh, we have that too. We have songs
lucky
that we
enough.
don't play. Yeah. Songs that like when we were doing a set list for this tour, and I'm like that just one. I don't want to play that. This doesn't work.
Didn't age well for me.
No, I'm and it sucks when you say I'm just too old to play that.
Yeah,
I don't want to play
that
song. I'm just too old to play that song.
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm not there anymore. But then you have some songs that last forever, and you want to play them. You can't wait till you get there in the set.
Yeah,
and you've been playing it for 40 years.
Yeah,
and you still can't wait till you get to that moment in the set. Like people always ask, what song do you hate playing? Or do you play, especially the hits? Yeah. And I say, none of them. I was like, when you start, you know this feeling, when you hit the first chord of that, you played a million G's all night. Yep. You played, but for some reason you hit the G in that, hit the G in that, and Let Her Cry, and the crowd shits their pants. That's it. And that's worth it every time. Every time. Every time that's worth it. Every time.
In fact, if it doesn't happen, something's wrong.
Exactly.
What's unplugged?
Exactly. We need to go home.
You're like, what's wrong? Who pushed the wrong button? Because we just did. That's funny because I had the same thing. There isn't one hit that I don't like to play because I see not only the reaction, people are happy.
Yes.
It's a great feeling when you see a collective smile that's 10,000 people or 15,000 people big or bigger, or 2,000. It doesn't matter how big the crowd is. When you play those songs and those moments in those songs, you can feel the collective joy, sometimes the collective pain, whatever it is, you can feel it. And there's nothing that replaces that feeling, that rush you get when you play that. I never get tired of playing the hits.
I tell you, one of the great days of my life, we were making our second record, and we did the Neil Young, the benefit he does. Bridge School benefit. We did that. And we were recording our new second record, and we went out, and I think we played like 2 songs off the first record that weren't hits. And then we played like 5 new songs. And after the show, I'm sitting there, and I'm hanging out with Chrissy Hine. And I'm a huge Pretenders guy. I just think she's the shit. Yeah. And I'm hanging out with Chrissy Hine, and couple fans come up and ask my autograph. This is before cameras, they asked for my autograph.
Before iPhones.
Before iPhones and everything. And so I give them my autograph, and one of the girls goes, why come you guys didn't play, Let Her Cry, I Don't Want to Be With You? I was like, we're just trying out some new songs, whatever. And they walked away, and Chrissy Hine turned to me and she said, did you guys write those songs? I was like, yeah, we wrote them all. And she's, in a very colorful way, said, why the fuck would you not want to play them? It's like, you work your whole life to get a hit.
To have a hit.
And then you get to a place and you don't want to play your hit. What the fuck is wrong with you? And that day just was like a light to me. I was like, I will never get on the stage and not play a hit ever again.
I feel the same way.
I won't ever do it again.
It's a youthful mistake.
Exactly.
It's a youthful mistake to reject. Maybe it's the initial reason. Maybe it's the first. It doesn't matter. The first thing you did that people liked, you usually, at some point in your youth, in your growth, you reject it.
Yeah.
No, but this is really me. And you're like, well, that's actually you.
Yeah, you wrote it.
And you were actually being honest there.
Yeah.
You were trying your best. And the part of us that is naive, that we could see it as naive or just young or full of it, and we tried really hard, and we were like, notice me, listen to my song. We would have done anything to get on that stage and have people just listen to our song. And then we make it with the song or the record. We get and then we reject it. And it's almost like we're rejecting a part of ourselves that was the best part of us. Yeah. Like the part that was like honestly just trying to make it.
Yeah, exactly. Hungry.
Desperate, would do anything.
Writing 50 songs a day. Write as many songs as you can just to get that one song.
Playing any show.
With
anyone.
Some man, you know how it is. Those early shows, man, playing, these frat parties and all this stuff.
With anyone.
With anybody.
You asked us to play, we would play.
Exactly. We'll open up for anybody, and you only have to give us free beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get there, and you said it so perfectly, the youthfulness of thinking, okay, yeah, we have those hits, but now, look at me now.
Now I'm important.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'm not going to play any
important.
hits. Yeah.
And you're like, no, that was important, but I had to learn that as well.
Yeah.
And I had to go the long way around. But then I realized, like, play the hits.
I mean, I've seen bands, and I'm not, you don't want to call anybody out, but I've seen bands where I watched the whole show and they didn't play the hit that I wanted to play. And I had made it when this happened, and you're so disappointed.
Yeah.
You're like, I loved everything you played, but you're really not going to play that song. You're really not going to play that song. It's your biggest hit, and you're not going to play it. And that's just crazy to me.
You have a lot of hits.
I've done all right.
You have a lot of hits.
It's been a crazy run.
You have a lot of hits. You probably have more hits than anyone that sat in that chair. I would say your top 3 hit makers that have sat in that chair. I would say you, Lil Wayne.
Hits.
Southside has produced a ton of hits. We've had some people with it. You have a lot of hits that you wrote, that you sing. I mean, you have a lot of hits.
It's been, like I said, I've been lucky. I'm a pretty good songwriter, and I've written songs with some cool people. We're sitting there, it's so funny to sit there and talk. I don't know why I'm bringing this up again, but CNN did a show on the 90s music.
Yeah.
It was produced by Gary Getzman and Tom Hanks, produced it. And they did 3 hours on the 90s and did not mention Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's crazy.
To say that is crazy. I said to some reporter, I was like, fuck Tom Hanks,
Yeah, of course.
And so I meet Tom, and he's like, well, we only had a certain amount of time. And I went, it's the fucking best-selling record of the decade. Of the decade. It's the best-selling record of the decade. And you didn't mention it.
It was like double diamond and a half or something.
Yeah, we sold 22 million copies. It's like,
crazy.
what do you do? Yeah, it was. But that's here or there. But it's just, for me, I've been lucky. And even after when I went to country music, and I've been a huge country music fan my whole life. I always said I was going to do it someday, and it was about songs.
Yeah,
and that's what hits are about. You need a song first of all, then you need a whole bunch of luck and people behind you. But that's what hits are: songs, great songs.
There's just something about you, the way you sing, and the way you deliver. You have a casual honesty about your songs. They all hit. From the Hootie records to now, they all just hit in a way that feels honest. And I think that's a big part of why I think you are successful, people believe you. I mean, when I hear you sing, I know you're singing. I know that you want to be there, you want to sing, and you're saying something that you mean.
Oh yeah.
However little or big of an idea it is, if it's about chilling, if it's about something deeper, I always feel like there's an honesty to you, which is hard to find sometimes in popular music. It can be, you know, we all have our own taste or whatever, but I've always kind of been like a guy in a guitar singing. I know when I believe him and I know when I don't.
Exactly.
And I always believe you.
And I think that comes from what we were talking about earlier. Me, you know, not doing any song I don't want to sing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because if I put a song on a record, even songs that I haven't written, if I pick a song, I believe it. It's me. You know, even if I believe it, it's part of who I am, and I love it. And that's why. So when I get in the studio to sing it, I'm giving everything. I'm doing everything to make you believe it because I believe it.
Yeah.
And that's I think all the great singers do that. All the people who I listen to, you know, Al Green and you know, Michael Stipe and all these people that were important to me. You believe it when they're saying it, and that's what makes hits.
I feel very lucky to be sitting with you. I've been a fan a long time, but I could see why you would be protective of Hootie, especially being, you know, in the decade of the 90s to be one of the most important things that happened musically. And then not only that, a lot of things in the 90s stayed in the 90s, and I wouldn't say they're less important.
Yeah.
I would say that they were kind of locked in a time, but to have a catalog of music that was born out of something so great, I don't know why you wouldn't include that in every, especially in CNN, but I could see why you care so much about, it's like me with I really believe that everything that I have is because of Good Charlotte. Everything that I am is because of that vehicle that got me there. And it was in the 90s when we started, and it was a special time. It was a special time to be around music and be discovering music. But everything that I've achieved in my life is because that thing that I got to be a part of and that I'm still a part of. And so I'm protective of it.
Absolutely.
I respect it.
Absolutely. The word you say is I'm protective of it. And, you know, even through the whole career and everything that happened, you know, you know, a lot of people trace the end of grunge to when Hootie started. And then, you know, you see all those bands that came out, you know, Matchbox and Sister Hayes and all those bands that came out of Hootie. Getting a whole Hootie getting a record deal and having success. And I'm very protective of that because I think in the whole world, although in the whole critical world, we've never gotten what I think we deserve as a band.
I agree.
Yeah, you know, and we live with that every day. Like even now, you know, it's been 6 years since we've been eligible and we've never been on a ballot for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
And that, you know, we look at that and go,
wait
wow.
a minute. I did not know that Hootie and the Blowfish wasn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I never thought about it.
We've never even been on the ballot.
I assumed you guys were.
Never been on the ballot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. You know, and we look at we laugh about it, you know, but it's like that is the people who think they're the rock critics still dismiss us.
Yeah.
Instead of really looking at what we did for music. Like one of the greatest moments of our early career was at American Music Awards where Garth Brooks won it. We were up for it and Garth Brooks won it and he wouldn't accept it. He wouldn't accept it. Then he went backstage and he told the reason he accepted it because those guys deserve it. You know, we were putting people back in the record stores. It was a crazy time. But we look at that and it just goes on to today. I mean, for me, I know it's not for me to say, and I'm not saying we would get in, but it's shocking.
No, you would absolutely get in. You will get in. I'll bet any amount of money you'll get in. These things culturally happen because these conversations happen. The greatest thing about these conversations and why I love this show is we're just being honest. We're not attacking anyone.
Oh, yeah.
We don't take sides. I don't pick sides on most arguments. I'm not picking a side.
Yeah.
I'm a musician. I see the world in the middle because I've been able to travel and meet so many different people.
I'm 100% with you.
You know,
Absolutely.
so I see all the sides, and I think most of the time I'm like, yo, don't pull me into your political arguments, your religious arguments. Don't pull me in because I've been around the world. People are people. Everybody wants to be happy.
Yep.
Some people get pulled this way and they have a view that they don't even realize that they would get along with this person over here if they weren't being pitted against one another. And so I love this show for that because we don't have an agenda other than like people getting to actually sit in the chair and be themselves, so that everybody listening who actually wants to know what it'd be like to have a coffee with you or have a beer with you or go, get a minute of your time, because it's impossible for us to hang out with everybody. But that's what this show's about. It's like, what would it be like to have dinner with that guy?
Yeah.
And just shoot the shit and be on and be free enough to be honest about how we feel. The fact that Hootie is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm actually blown away by that. I had no idea. I just kind of assumed. You just assume.
Oh, I know what you mean. But like seriously, they've never even been on the ballot.
That's crazy.
And it's been 6 years, never been on the ballot.
That's interesting, isn't it? The biggest record of the decade in the 90s, especially for rock music, and any person in my generation would absolutely say that record affected their musical landscape in some way. You were touched by that record somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it was, it was one of those records that was everywhere. And
Crazy.
For us, we just, of course we were in it, living it. And so, we sit back and just do it. But it was just, I just think it was an important record, and it was an important time. It was an important time for music. It was such a switch from, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. It was such a switch to all of a sudden, what is this? What is this little record coming out? But one of my favorite stories to tell is we finished Cracked Review, and this very important vice president at Atlantic Records went and told Danny Goldberg that if you put this record out, we will be the laughing stock of music. That was his exact line about Cracked Review.
How did that feel when you heard that, though?
Oh, it broke our hearts.
Right.
Because for a second we thought they were going to put it out.
You thought they were going to shelf it.
Yeah, but Danny was like, you're crazy. And, Danny was like, you're crazy for putting the record out. And because at first they didn't work it. There was some people in the South trying to get it on records, get on the radio in Charleston and Columbia and Raleigh, where we were from, maybe get on the radio there. And then Letterman happened and life changed.
Yeah. I remember that.
Life changed. Like in a weekend, our lives changed.
For me, country music has become a place where anything can happen now.
Yes.
And that's been over the last 2 decades. And I would say you're a big part of showing artists that they can go do whatever they want. Especially, I mean, to me, the Hootie records, I come from Maryland, so we're a Southern leaning. We have a lot of Southern rock, a lot of country. Like my dad loved you. I always felt Hootie in a soulful Southern rock way.
Yeah. Totally.
So it always made sense to me. When your music makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like you were always kind of a country singer to me.
I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the Southern rock bands, it's a rock band that has a country influence. So the singer is a country singer, but in the 90s, everything was genrefied and divided by genres and separated. So if you were that, you can't be that. Now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You just write songs and you are whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
But I think you were a big part of that.
I mean, country was going over the country. We're in the bus one day, and our drummer says he doesn't want to be a touring band anymore, and so we're like, wow, And I'd been thinking about making country music since Radney Foster, listening to all those records and stuff like that. It's like, I was like, I'm going to go to Nashville, and the thing that really got me when I first started, after I finished my record, I was going around. I went to 110 radio stations, and the thing that really got me was when I was told, I don't think my audience will accept a black country singer. And I'm telling you, 3-4 folks looked me in the eye and told me that. And that was like, wow. I know there hadn't been a black country singer in 25 years to have a hit, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah.
And then when we made it, then when, we had our first hit and then the second hit, and it was really like, I felt like, I'm opening the door, not just for me.
Yeah, you're blazing a trail.
But just for these other artists that would have never even gotten to listen to. Maybe now somebody will listen to them and listen to them and give them a shot. And you're seeing everything that's happened with Beyonce now, and it's like Beyonce and Kane Brown and all these folks that are having these hits. I mean, they didn't have to hear that, and the reason they didn't have to hear that is because of what I did.
Yeah.
What I did with Capitol, we went out and proved that whole myth of that these country white folks won't listen to black music. Wrong. They just want good. They're like everybody else. They want good songs. You got a great song and a great singer. They want to hear it.
It's actually the people playing the records who were deciding what the audience, what they wanted the audience to listen to. A lot like the record executive that said, you can't put this Hootie record out.
Yeah.
You got the important radio people saying, we're not going to put a black guy out in country music. It's not going to work.
Yep.
You did it anyways.
Yep.
But you really are just a trailblazer. And if you look at where country music is today, it wasn't like that when you came in.
Oh, goodness no. 17 years ago was not like it is now.
You had to go get after it, and you had to face. I mean, I can only imagine how old it got in the beginning there for you when you were putting records out.
Yeah. You said it was just hearing it was old. Yeah. You know, and the stupid stuff like some people did at shows and stuff. You're like, do you really think, like, we're playing upstate New York once, and this local Klan group decides to come out, and they're walking around with these giant, rebel flags, and I'm thinking to myself, do you think that's going to make me stop playing?
Yeah, it's going to make me play more.
Yeah, it's going to make me play them more and louder. It's just it was a whole, like you said, it was the gatekeepers that didn't want to open the gate. It wasn't the people behind the gate that didn't want to hear it. It was the people that didn't want me to come through.
That's crazy, though.
It's been crazy. I mean, the death threats and all the stuff. It was crazy.
You've had death threats?
Goodness, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh goodness, yeah. Especially at the beginning. At the beginning, it was, people wanted me out.
But it feels like you connect with the people you're singing for. They want to see you. It's just always these select groups of assholes that are almost like just there to like kill the whole party for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's just, it's also, as an African-American, having to put up with the black folks saying, oh, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? Like a moment that just blew my world apart this day. Me and Charlie Pride are hanging out at the Opry one day.
Oh my God.
And we're just shooting the shit. And Charlie Pride everybody knows that name. I don't care who you are, you know how important Charlie Pride was.
He's incredible.
Incredible. And he said to me one day, he was like, I had all these hits. I broke down. I did something that somebody that looked at me had never done. And he's like, I won Entertainer of the Year in 1972. And he said, I've never been on the cover of Ebony and Jet.
Wow.
And I thought, me neither.
That's crazy.
And I was like, that's crazy. You won Entertainer of the Year in country music, and they didn't put you in the cover of Ebony and Jet. And me, was selling records hand and fist and never been on the cover of Ebony and Jet. And that was a thing that was, you expect it from this side, but when you're getting it from both sides,
where do you actually fit?
And it bothers you. You try to act like it doesn't, but it bothers you.
Yeah.
Even today, I'm sure like, now that Beyonce's done her thing, there's, the BET Award's going to have all of a sudden have a country category.
There's going to be country for sure.
Why wasn't there a country category 16 years ago when I'm making it? But that's just when you choose to do something that you're not supposed to do. That's the kind of stuff that happens because we're not supposed to do it.
My father-in-law Lionel had the Commodores, and then he went on to his solo career, and he was people could say it was one kind of genre, but it was a lot of different things. Oh, yeah. It was rock and roll. It was all these different things. But they try to box you in and label you as something, especially the people that are trying to market it to the broader audiences, yes, which are predominantly white audiences in popular music. It's like that's what they were trying to market. So how are we going to sell this?
Yes.
And good music is good music. That's what I think. Good music is going to make it, but you're just being you.
Yeah.
And everybody else is arguing about what you are.
Exactly. It's like, that's the one thing that just been, for me, has been crazy. I didn't think that, I'm going to go play rock and roll, but I just want to play music.
You're just being yourself.
And I'm just writing the songs that I write. And the songs you write comes from what you listen to. And I was listening to everything. I mean, everything. I remember as a kid, listening in front of that AM radio, just twisting the knob till I heard a song I liked. And then you listen to it and you can't wait to hear it again. Listen to Cheap Trick and Buck Owens and Al Green and, you know, the Beatles and all these different genres that were out there. But for me, it was never genres. It was music. I say this all the time. We all use the same chords and the same words. You know, it's just music.
Yeah.
And it'll always be that way for me. It's just music.
As hard as it can be to have to, what I can imagine is to have to just be in the middle of all that and accept that that's everybody. Like, you can't control any side or who's saying what. Yeah. And you're literally sitting in the middle and you're just like, you want to make your music, put it out. You have traversed 2 decades, 3 decades of what it means to be you in music, country, rock and roll, all of it, and come out on the other side, this like successful, grounded guy who's, I can still just see you've been the same guy.
That's one of the things I'm most proud of is I'm just still who I was. Like, and all my friends, like I still have friends that I've known since I was, 5. Yeah. That I still hang out with, talk to every week. Yeah. And they'll tell you, you're still just Darius. One of a saying that I just always believe is true, as much as, and don't get me wrong, there's times when that stuff hurts. Mm-hmm. You know, and
you can be angry.
And you're sitting at home by yourself and you're mad or you're hurt and you're like, but then the best revenge is success, man. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. and I'm out here playing shows. Like I just got back from Europe, playing a sold out tour, playing 10,000 people in London. It's mm-hmm. like, that's the best. That's the best revenge, is doing that. And getting to do the only thing I've wanted to do since I was 5 years old. Just play music. It's all I've ever wanted to do.
Would you say you're happy with where you landed?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Totally. I mean, as growing up as a kid, I just wanted to be a solo artist. I really did. I just wanted to get my guitar and write songs, and then Purple Rain came out. And this, I'll never forget this as long as Purple Rain comes out and I go see it in the theater. And the time hit the stage. And I remember thinking, I want to be in a band. If that's what being in a band is about, I wanted to be in a band. And so magical. Yeah. And then so Hootie happens, and I have this great career with Hootie, and then I go to Nashville and I get to do it by myself. Yeah. It's pretty badass. I'm sitting here, I'm happy with it. You got to do both. I got to do both.
And you Absolutely. Still get to do both.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's been 30 years and I still matter. Yeah. I just had a hit, last year. Yeah. It's you still matter, and that's a pretty cool feeling. I'm 58,
Beers man. And Sunshine.
Beers and Sunshine.
Yeah, that was a great song.
Big hit, a shocking
it's a great song, dude.
Yeah. And
I think it's like one of your biggest hits.
It is.
Just last year.
I think that was my fastest moving song ever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The only kind of BS I like.
Yeah, dude, we didn't think they'd play that, but they did.
Yeah, I like it.
I love that song.
It's great.
Yeah, I love that
It's really good. One of the reasons I wanted to have you here was your book.
Oh, yeah.
Your book, which is out now.
Yeah.
I feel like we just covered a lot of it, but what's the main idea of writing that book?
Oh, goodness. You know how it is. I'm sure you get everybody's always asking you to write a book, and I always said I wouldn't write it till my kids were old enough to write it. Right. Until they were adults.
How old are your kids?
My youngest is 19, and I got 23 and 29.
Amazing.
And for me, it was just time to tell the story. And the book is really, there's a lot about the music, but it's more about the stuff that shaped me there. It's about my relationship or non-relationship with my dad. It's about my relationship with my mom. It's about my brothers and sisters and all growing up and all that stuff. That was the stuff that really, everybody's going to talk about. I talked about the party, and I think that's the thing that people are going to be a little surprised about, is how hard the Hootie went.
Yeah, I actually assumed that.
Yeah.
See, but I always can smell it a little bit because I know myself.
Exactly.
I don't know if people expected Good Charlotte to go hard or not. I'm not sure.
I did.
But we had our moments where it led me to the predominantly healthy lifestyle I live now, but I had to go through that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I realized when I was going through that, what I was actually medicating was all my childhood shit and all my bad relationships and all my family shit.
That was something that really, so the therapy of writing the book. So I really realized like all that was because of my childhood. And once we got there and what I was doing, I was just trying to escape. Yeah. I was just trying to escape me, trying to escape all the shit I just gone through and all this and all, all the shit that was happening. I was just trying to escape. And like, I'm like you now. I live a relatively healthy lifestyle, still have a couple drinks with you and everything.
I like to drink.
Yeah, I like to,
Sometimes.
But it's not, we're not putting a mound over there for us to go through, which would have been happening in the 98, but all that stuff was to escape. It wasn't for anything else. It was to escape all the childhood trauma and all the stuff that you went through growing up. And I don't, like I said, but I don't regret any of it. It was what it was. I didn't kill anybody and I didn't die. And like,
Thank God.
Even the four of us now, when we get together and we're honest with each other, somebody always says, thank God we all made it out there.
Yeah.
Because one of us could not be here real easy, or more of us.
And especially from the 90s, the early 2000s, we saw so many people die. We all know someone from our world of music that is not here.
Yes.
And it was absolutely drugs.
Every time.
It was drinking maybe, but drugs. It was all drugs. And that's why I tell my kids, I'm like, guys, you think I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm like your boring dad? Trust me. Drugs, they're going to get you one way or another.
Yes.
So be very careful. I want you to make your own decisions, but be very careful because drugs, I don't know anyone yet that has beaten the drugs. The only way to beat them is quit.
They always win.
They will win.
And in today's world, when in the 90s, you didn't have to worry about getting a bag with fentanyl.
Yeah, you didn't. That wasn't a thing.
That
back
wasn't
then.
even something you thought about. And now
people were still dying.
Yeah, exactly. And so now I say the same thing to my kids. It's not worth it. I mean, you might think it is, and at the moment, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Was there any part of writing the book that made you feel nervous about sharing? Like I had this moment yesterday where we were starting to write, and I couldn't. Spent 3 hours, nothing was coming out, and I was usually at 3 hours I quit. I'm like, I'll try again tomorrow. I know myself well enough. And my brother was like, let's try one more time, but like actually talk about something you care about.
Yeah.
Stop trying to write a song. And then I start writing and I get a little embarrassed. You know that embarrassed feeling when you're being honest?
Sure.
What parts of the book do you feel like are the most bearing, the one that you were the most nervous to like let people have?
Probably the most nervous was how awful of a husband I was. That was my ex-wife was awesome. She was awesome. All she wanted to do was keep our family together, and all I wanted to do was go out and party.
Right.
And she was there with the kids, and I came home and tried to be a good dad, but I was only home for 4 or 5 days before I was back on the road. And that whole thing was just a really, and from me, an apology to her, because that was embarrassing. That after growing up without a dad the way I did, that's how I chose to live, and that was hard to write, and that was hard to put in the book. But I always said if I wrote the book, I was going to be honest.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What I hear is, because I have the same complicated relationship with my father. We were estranged my whole life.
Yeah.
And then I reunited with him. I actually didn't share this forever. Everyone always assumed I hated my dad because I did for a long time. And most of my records, a lot of them were about him.
Yeah.
And then I reunited with him after I had kids, and we made peace with one another. And it was nice. I mean, we were never going to be the storybook father-son. But there were parts of him that were like me. There was parts of him that I saw, I was like straight up got from my dad.
Sure.
And what I realized, and when he passed away, was I got to do something he didn't get to do, which was like make amends and make things right.
Yeah.
And what I hear in that love letter to your wife in the book is something like a man who's going back and being honest about his mistakes and facing a painful thing, which is we didn't have a model. We didn't know how to be husbands. We didn't know how to be fathers. Yep. And we rejected it for a long time by partying or running away, or doesn't mean we was okay. We did it, but we did it.
Yeah.
The hero story is at any point, and this is more maybe for people listening and people reading your book, is at any given point, if we can actually come to terms with the truth about ourselves, however painful it is, and go back and actually face it, accept it, own it, and try to make it right. Some people will accept that from us. Some people might not.
Won't. Yep. Yeah.
We can't control that.
Yeah.
But to actually own it is the growing part.
I agree. I agree. It's like with my dad, we didn't see each other for 15 years, which is an amazing thing. And from the time I was 12 to 27, I didn't see him. And he lived 10 minutes from where I was.
Wow.
10 minutes from where I was. And we did Letterman, and we were, we had played these clubs for so long. We did Letterman, everything was taken off, but we said all these clubs that we have booked, we're keeping them. You know, the bookie agent was like, we got to cancel these clubs. Well, fuck that.
Yeah.
We're going to play these clubs one last time and give them a huge send-off. They're going to make a fortune that night. And we're playing a club in Charleston, and he walks into the club. Me and Dean, our bass player, he walks into the club. We're having dinner, and he just walks in like he saw me yesterday. And so I decided I'm going to be the bigger man. Yeah, hey, man, all right, absolutely, man. Here's my number. I'm about to go, I'm going on the road. Call me. We'll get together when I get back. So we go on the road, and I get back, and I check my answer machine. And I haven't seen him in 15 years.
It's crazy.
And I check my answer machine, and his first message is asking me for $50,000.
That's disappointing.
Crushed me.
Yeah.
I was like, really? You have to be kidding me.
Yeah.
That's going to be your first message to me after 15 years that you need me to give you money. And not a little bit of money, real money.
$50,000 in 1990, whatever, was more like $200,000.
Yeah.
Like,
that's real money.
or more.
And
That's real money.
And
especially when you just first got money.
I didn't have that. We were just.
You didn't even have it.
No, we were just. Letterman had just happened. We were living. And don't get me wrong, we were doing well in the clubs to where we could pay rent and everything.
You were making a living.
I wasn't rich.
Yeah.
And I was just like blown away. And that was constantly after that. Anytime I saw him, that's all it was. Like my favorite story to tell. I'm walking down King Street, which is the street in Charleston, and I see him in the car driving towards me, and he pulls over, he gets out, and he goes, oh my God, thank God. He's driving a Cadillac. So a white guy sitting in the passenger seat. Oh, thank God. I was like, well, hey, well, good to see you. Thank God for what? He was like, I'm test driving this car. I was like, if you think God sent me to you to buy you this car,
No.
your God's lying to you. But that's what it was. And we never, I like when you said you guys developed a relationship, that's all I wanted. I just wanted a friendship. But it was never, I could never have one because every time I saw him, it was just about money.
It's really.
I'm like, dude, I'm not giving you any money.
It's really hard when you have to go through that while navigating a career in entertainment, because everyone's making you question, am I real enough? Am I staying grounded? Have I become an asshole?
Absolutely.
Especially when you're from a small place, if you're from a smaller place. I'm not from LA. I've learned how to live out here. I can navigate this place just fine. It was a little overwhelming at first, but I'm from a small place. So I was always questioning, am I still a good person? Because I was taught money's evil and fame is evil and Hollywood is evil and everything's evil. So I must be evil now. Yep.
And you're asking yourself all the time, am I still that same humble, nice guy that I will grow up being?
And if your self-esteem is not in check, if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, which is, I had to go to therapy. I had to go work it out and figure out what parts was real, what parts was not, and find my own version of health, because I would overcompensate all the time in every direction. I would be way too nice to someone. I would go way too out of my way. So I would be used by people. And then on the other side, I would be a dick because I
just got used by somebody.
And so you could never find the true middle where you just have the same instincts that got you to your first hit. Those were the instincts you needed all along.
Yes.
And then when you get the success, you don't believe that you actually did it. So then you start second guessing everything. And then you're just swirling, and then you try to be honest, try to get married, try to have kids, without actually unpacking all the things and being ready for it. So it's almost like getting thrown out of an airplane with no parachute, and you're just free falling and trying to figure it out, and then in front of everybody.
Yeah, in front of the world.
And then I want to appear as perfect, to be honest, if I'm being really honest. I want everyone to think I'm the great guy.
You and I are talking this, we're preaching the choir.
Right?
Absolutely.
I don't want you to think that I have my problems I have. Or if I drink too much, I might get a little crazy in any direction. I might get, but that was always my problem, was I was medicating this deep need for, I think, love, acceptance, self-esteem, and just overwhelmed by the success that I maybe didn't believe I'd ever have.
Yes.
And then you have the dad thing, the mom thing, relationships, all of it gets thrown into this big bag. And then you're carrying it around while you're going out and trying to do what you love and what you're actually good at, what you have to do. If you hadn't put out the music you put out, think about the hole in the world. This is what we were just talking about. Think about the road you've paved for so many artists to be able to do this and make a living and be in country music, rock music.
Yeah.
This is not just hard for a black man to be the lead singer in country. It's in rock too.
In rock, yeah.
It's just as hard
I agree.
in the 90s.
Absolutely.
And still today.
Absolutely.
Like, think about how many artists don't get picked.
Yeah.
So what you've actually done, if we're really honest about it and we give you credit, is blaze this trail while carrying these suitcases of real shit that
Baggage.
everybody has to work out.
Absolutely. And I mean, you said it a little while ago. Therapy it brought me to a level to where I always say that it made me have to deal with me.
Yeah.
Because up until then, I just didn't deal with me.
Yeah.
I dealt with everything else and all the other BS around, but therapy got me to deal with me.
Me too.
It made me a better person.
It made me okay with just being me.
Yes.
I'm gonna make my music when I make it. I'm gonna do the things I do, and then it's okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Whatever the result is, I'll judge it later.
I'm going to be me to you. I'm going to be me to you.
Then I can be closer with my kids.
Yes.
So it took me I was lucky. I feel the same way you feel about your ex-wife. She's an incredible person who I got into therapy just in time. I feel like we've made it to where we've made it because I got into therapy just in time.
Yeah.
It wasn't her.
Yeah.
It was absolutely me.
Oh, 100%.
And she's an entertainer. So people pin this idea of like this person they think she is like she was wild and she was this. It's actually not.
Yeah.
She's very calm, very smart.
Yep.
Was raised really well, like classy woman.
Yeah.
Has integrity and makes good choices. And I was the one who had the low self-esteem. Mostly, if there was anyone making mistakes, it was me.
Yes.
I was the messier one.
Always. Yep. 100%.
But I presented well to the world. I could get on stage and be the lead singer.
Yes.
Say the right stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And I was the nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so nice. He's so nice. Yeah.
But I had some messes, and I was lucky enough that she saw me through that part. And I would say my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, very supportive people who have their shit together.
Yeah.
And they're just like classy people. They have integrity. So I had a family around me suddenly that was like, hey, maybe you should like go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
It helps. And then, because I'd never thought about that. I always kind of looked
Me
at
too.
therapy.
And I was against it. I was like, well, what am I going to talk to some stranger about?
Go to talk to some, what am I, crazy?
Yeah,
You're crazy.
exactly. You're crazy. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not,
Yeah.
But I'm just a big advocate for it because I know what it did for me.
For sure.
I know what it did for me. And it just really got me to a really good place in life. I'm for the first time, probably, last few years, for the first time in my life, I've really been happy.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And to get that is the point of life.
Yes.
To get that. And think about, to get that at our age, there are some people who will never get it. They'll never achieve that happiness.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's a victory.
It's a big win.
Yeah.
Everything else is icing.
Yeah, because when we start off, we think getting a record deal is going to make me happy.
Yeah.
Then you think, oh, having a hit's going to make me happy. Oh, then having another hit, then let's make another record. Let's have a big tour. Playing stadiums is going to make you happy. That stuff just makes it harder.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're trying to medicate to compensate for what? But
Yeah, the God-sized hole in us just gets bigger when the life gets bigger.
Yes.
And we try to fill it with more and more. One thing I always try to tell my kids, and they're teenagers now, so they kind of get it now, is I'm just like you. I'm just trying to figure life out.
Yeah.
I don't have all the answers. I'm going to try to tell you what I think.
Yeah.
But I try to be as honest as possible because I didn't have a lot of that as a kid. I didn't have an adult around that was just telling me the truth about life.
It's so funny. It's so great talking to you because I think that was for me what it was too. Because my mom was great, but she wasn't really telling me the truth.
Right.
You know, she was working her butt off and telling me I could do anything I want to do. You could be anything you want to be, all the great positive stuff. But there's nobody sitting down telling me to look out for drugs or you know, or look out for this or this life's going to be hard.
Or how a credit card works.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like how to buy a house.
Yeah. Or how to buy a car.
Or how to buy a car or to save money.
Yeah, put the money away.
Put the money away. Or,
you know, because we didn't have any money to put away, so no one was telling me. No one was teaching me anything like that. You know, and that's the kind of things I'm sure you try to teach your kids now. It's like life is a big thing. There's a lot of things we need to talk about.
Take your time. Take care of yourself. And find something you love.
Exactly.
And get after it.
Exactly.
But everything that is worth doing is hard. And the hard parts are hard. I had this talk with my daughter the other day. She's a really big dancer. She's a really she's achieved a lot as a dancer. She's 16. She works really hard. It's one of the reasons why I don't worry about her at all. And the other day she was all stressed out because she was going to Seattle with her mom for this dance competition, and she was kind of yelling at me, and I was like, hey, calm down. What's up? And she's like, I'm just stressed. This is really hard. And I was like, hey, listen, it's really hard because it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something that not a lot of people want to take the time, put the effort in, just like making it with music. So the hard parts are hard. Just know that and know that it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Because this will get easier and then you're going to pick something harder.
Yeah.
And get comfortable in that uncomfortable hard spot so you can keep going forward and know that it makes you a little anxious, makes you stressed out. And she calmed down. No one told me that.
Yeah. Absolutely not. And no one told us that anything great is going to be hard.
It's going to be hard work.
And if it's easy, in the long run, it's not going to be great. You know, and that's just like you said. There was nobody telling me that growing up. It just wasn't there.
Well, if anybody today asks you, how do you have your career? I mean, I think I can't even count the number ones. Number one records, number one songs, or let's say even just top 10s. If you stack them all up, and then you also stack up all the achievements, those are just one measurement, right? All the achievements, the tours, the amount of tickets, the amount of whatever. If we just stacked them all up, they would be sitting in piles around us in this room. If we were sitting in your success, it would be piles of shit around us in this room, right? If it was physical, right? Because see it. And someone said, how did you do it? You would likely say, I kept getting back up.
Yes.
I kept trying.
Yes.
And I didn't listen to anyone.
I didn't listen to anybody that told me I couldn't. Exactly. Anybody that said you can't do this. Anytime somebody said you can't do this, it made me want to do it more.
The thing that's interesting to me is when there's someone who has something that someone has told them that's a non-starter, right? If I went into country music, they would say, might be hard, but yeah, give it a try. You go in and they say, it's not going to happen, dude. Like the people.
Oh, I mean, just like that, not going to happen.
And here we are 20 years later.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in this success. And someone asks you, how'd you do it? And you would have to say, the very basic, I got back up every time.
I worked harder.
Worked harder.
Yep. When I got knocked down, I worked harder. That's really what it is. It just not accepting what anybody says, any of the negative stuff anybody says to you, and just get back up. Everybody gets knocked down. You just got to get back up, get back on that horse and start riding it again.
Yeah, you'll likely be if you're not already, I don't know if you've written any other books, but you'll likely be a New York Times bestseller. I'll bet that. I'll bet some money on that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little, nice little thing to add to the piles of achievements.
Nice. Absolutely. That'd be nice.
Do you feel good about the book?
Yes.
Good.
Very, very. You know, I think there's one story in the book that we put two stories together that kind of still bothers me, but we just told the truth.
Right.
And that's what I love about the book so much.
The truth is awkward sometimes.
We just told the truth.
It's uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, it's very. When I did the audiobook.
Oh, you read it?
Yeah, I read it.
That's great.
And there were moments where, I got really choked up. I mean, there was one moment that I really cried because it was like, it was so honest. And those are times that you don't think about, but then when you're reading it back, you're just like, wow, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I don't think the world is a place where it's not that I want to say the world is an ugly, mean place, but it is sometimes. I don't think it's a place where we're encouraged to love ourselves and to actually embrace and celebrate our own existence and our own life and our own story.
Wow, that's a great way to put it. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's sad to think about unless we do it, and then other people will do it for themselves.
Yeah.
You have to have the audacity to love yourself and celebrate everything you are and everything you aren't.
Yes.
Right? I don't prop myself up as a guy who's figured it all out. That's not why I have a show or podcast or whatever you want to call this. I'm a guy who's trying to figure it out. And so I want to talk to successful people that I admire and see why it is they're so special, because I think they're special. I suspect they figured some stuff out. And I always get something out of sharing, but the world doesn't actually celebrate that idea. If anything, they'll try to poke holes in it or make fun of it or whatever. But there is something about someone telling the truth and accepting themselves to move forward that leads other people to do the same. That's why I think people listen. I think people want to find something they share with you.
And I think that's something my whole career that's been important to me, even in the songs. You're right. Yeah. Like I remember when I wrote Let Her Cry and we were cutting it, and my A&R, there's a line I ran my hand through her dark hair.
Yeah.
And my producer and my A&R guy were begging me to change it to her blonde hair to make it obvious that, it was a white girl.
Right.
And I kept going, no, but the girl I wrote the song about has got dark black hair. I'm not going to change it. For me, it's just always been about honesty, especially in songwriting. When I'm writing a song about anybody, that's how I write songs. That's how they come to me. I decide I'm going to write about this, and then the song just comes. It just flows. You just write about your memory or whatever you do. And that was just, they begged me to change that. And I just kept going, no. And when we won the Grammy for it, I was like, see?
Yeah.
It's because it was an honest song.
Yeah, it's one of the best lines in the song too.
It's great. It was that song that like Tom Petty once said that God has written all the great songs and just decides who to funnel them through.
Yeah.
And I always say one night he sent me that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that song.
And you like Tom Petty?
Love Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Huge Tom Petty
Did you
fan.
get to meet him?
Once.
Got to
meet him once. Just in a passing thing.
Yeah.
Got to meet him.
Got to sit with Charlie Pride.
Several times. Sat with Charlie several times. Charlie, I became really good friends before he passed
really
away.
cool.
Yeah, he was an awesome human being.
Unreal.
Awesome human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just happy. Really, really. He was one of those people we were saying, he knew exactly who he was and what he was. And when you meet people in our business that they're so few and far between, and when you meet somebody who knew exactly who it was, like Charlie was, our conversations were, awesome.
It's inspiring, it's comforting, it's calming.
Yes.
It gives you it reminds you that the work is never done, but to be more you. I always have to remind myself that. Does this make me more me, or does it make me less me when I'm trying to make a decision or whatever? And I always try to remind artists that too, like be more you every day. You only get to be yourself.
Yeah.
If you're looking at someone else's career trying to have that, you're going in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
You got to have your own, whatever that means.
Comparing is killing. You're killing yourself when you're comparing yourself to other people. And then Charlie was something I said to myself, because I knew going into country music, it wasn't going to be easy. Like we've talked about it wasn't going to be easy for a black man to go to country music. And I said to myself, for the shit that Charlie Pride had to go through, I could take, there's nothing I can't take.
Yeah.
He told me a story about leaving a club one night, and George Jones had, with a key, had written "nigger" on his car.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Had he told that story anywhere else?
Yeah, it's a known story in
crazy.
country music, and I went, wow. I was like, wow. But and I always said anything Charlie went through, all the stuff he went through, I could go through. There's nothing that's going to happen to me that's anywhere near what happened to him.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
To keep your composure.
Yeah, because he had to.
Yeah.
He knew that if anything, it was just not going to help him, and so he just kept his composure. And he was just a strong, great guy.
There's a lot of wisdom in. I actually have gotten to sit with Lionel and hear so many stories about what it was like to be in Alabama in the Commodores, touring in a band, trying to make it.
Can't imagine.
trying to make it in, they wanted to be big.
Yeah.
They wanted to be global.
Sure.
That was the dream.
Yeah.
And to hear the stories, to hear the wisdom and experience, especially a man that I admire, that I just look up to so much, because beyond music, obviously he's a legend.
Yes.
But as a person, to know him so personally, I feel very lucky, because I feel like I'm a small group of people that get to have this interpersonal relationship with a father figure,
sure,
who's also a legend.
Absolutely.
And has seen decades and decades of the world change.
Yeah.
And have lived through all of it. He's a really special guy.
Oh, yeah. Very.
And a really good father.
He's just a great human being.
Yeah. Do you know Lionel?
I met him a few times. I sang on that Tuskegee record.
Yeah.
And
great record.
One of the great moments of my life. I'm getting chills thinking about it. I go in, we're doing Stuck on You. And I go in the studio, and first of all, I freak out when I walk in the studio because Tony Brown's there. One of the famous, he produced Elvis. Tony Brown's in there. And I walk in, and we meet, Lionel and I meet, and we're having a great conversation, and we're sitting in the booth together. And so Tony goes, and in this booth, it's every great session musician in Nashville is playing on this record. I'm looking around, I'm seeing everybody. They're 4 or 5 scales. These guys are the shit in Nashville. And Tony says, hey guys, let's just run the beginning of it. And he said, Lionel and Darius, you guys don't have to sing, we're just gonna run the song. They start playing it, and Lionel just leans over to his mic and says, sings Stuck on You. And every musician in there just went, you could see their bodies just like, oh my God, I'm playing with Lionel Richie. It was just a great, great moment. Yeah, he's amazing.
He's an amazing person. I get a lot of wisdom from my father-in-law and other men around me that are older than me, that have lived some more life down the road than me, that I see the guys who have made mistakes and owned them, and then taken steps towards continuing to live as honest a life as we can.
Yes.
Are the ones who I want to be like, because I don't want to sell perfect to people. I want because no one's perfect.
No.
The guys who sell perfect and that are good at it, there's all these gurus and people like that. Good for them. I'm not knocking their business or whatever, their business model or perfection. But it's the guys who I see that have lived honestly and that I want to be like, because what we do with music, with our lives, whether you like it or not, your life is on Front Street. Everybody's looking at it.
Yes.
Anytime we make a mistake, anytime we say something we didn't even mean, we were just off the cuff, whatever, the world's going to try to take it and make it something bigger than it actually is, instead of just a moment of whatever.
Yeah.
But the people that actually, more people, 99.9% of people don't care. And they'll actually support and love the guy who's honest.
Yes.
You'll get the credit you deserve when it's all said and done. It's too important. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, all the things like that stuff is all just a matter of time, because the world sometimes it takes people time to catch up.
Yeah.
But we're having this conversation because of that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, the records you make from here, I just think that you've carved out a timeless space in music that's not easy to do. Not many people can be making these relevant, important, whether it's a fun song like Beer and Sunshine, or whether it's a deeper song. You sit in a space in music where you can do whatever you want, but that's hard earned. That's decades of being yourself.
And I think that's the one thing.
It's a long road.
It is a long road, and that's the one thing that for me, sure, you want those accolades, but the fact that we could go out and tour this summer and play the places we're playing says more than anything else.
Yep.
People still want to see us play.
Yeah, the tickets always talk.
That's what's talking. You don't have to put us on the ballot of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but what other band? Name 4 other bands that are out, that came out in the 90s that are out this summer selling tickets we're selling.
Selling more tickets than ever.
Yeah. Yes. Well, definitely selling more tickets than we were when we stopped playing.
Yep.
Yeah. And so there's people still, the people know. They know, and they're showing up by putting asses in the seats.
But that's, to me, is why the people always talk first. And then the critics and the industry and the boards.
Yeah.
The boards of trustees that vote and all the things. Like, they're slow. They are slow moving. But it always comes, it goes around and comes around. And I think the long road is the long road's the one I realized I wanted to take.
Yeah.
I think in my youth, I was trying to find the tricks.
Yep.
So I thought it was like magic tricks and then I realized like, no, the songs we wrote were not tricks. They were just good songs. Get back to be yourself, write songs, mean it, and let it be. You know?
Yeah.
And I think you've done that your whole career, whether you realized you were doing it or not. I think now you could look back on it and go, yeah, I was being myself, as hard as it was sometimes, maybe as lonely as it was sometimes. I think it's incredible. Me and my brother, who's my best friend and my partner in everything, he listens to every episode. Like, he's the guy I always check with. Hey, what did you think of that episode?
Yeah.
What did you think of that conversation? And he always tells me, this is one we were really excited about. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, man. This is a great conversation.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Artist Friendly. If you really liked it, you can follow, like, subscribe to the show anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.
Bad times.